Hey, Don here. Okay, back again with another live stream. It's been I'm listening, checking my sound. I'll wait till I see myself over there to make sure I get my mic working. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so been a few days since I did a stream or video. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. I keep getting everything out of whack here. Whoops, I messed it up good that time. Didn't realize everything was in such a mess. I've got my lapel on here, and it's kind of one cable is too tight, one's too loose. So thought I had it all straightened out. Okay. I got a new, well, it's not so new now, but it's about a month or so old. But anyway, lapel. I've got a dual lapel. It's two lapel mics that go down to a in a Y to a single input, mono input. For you can plug it into. Well, it's got adapters so you can plug it into a phone or to the computer, and I have it plugged into the computer right now. And I'm not using it, but it's there in case I need to get up and move around, or if I always like to have a backup mic if something goes wrong. Or even with this SM58 through the mixer and everything, I've had it quit once or twice, and some little odd thing, a cable or a knob, in the wrong place or something, and I didn't realize it. So if I have a backup mic, then I can switch to it. I have my keyboard shortcut set up where I can switch to it. So anyway. I always manage to sidetrack onto something. So I'm going to go back to work. I'm on the desktop and try to get back to work on the Fedora 28 system. And what I did last time is I turned off auto updates. I had already turned them on. This is the Fedora project.org wiki page about auto updates, how to turn them on and turn them off and everything, how to set them up. You have to install DNF automatic if you don't have it already. It doesn't come, I don't think it comes with Fedora anymore since, I don't know, see it says Fedora 22 or later, so this probably is when that started happening that way. Used to all you had to do is just go into the Genome 2 settings and turn it on. Actually, I read something recently that I think in Genome 3 you can do that again now. So, well, actually, I never used Genome 3. I just couldn't stand it. It was just too different for me. I just didn't like it. So when Mate came out about the time Genome 3 came out, and so and it's a fork of Genome 2, and now it's it's been several years now, and so I've been using Mate ever since, and it works just like Genome 2. But there are some things, altogether in Fedora there are just noticeably, a lot less GUI apps and settings, things and all that, as there used to be in my Fedora 14. Well, I kept using Fedora 14 until Fedora 23 came out because I loved that system so much. Everything worked so well. So everything had a nice GUI that I needed, I never did try. I still haven't tried it. I still have the system. I didn't, reformat it. I still have like 3,500 applications on that thing. I mean, that's not counting the dependencies and things that I, there's probably 50 that I used, regularly enough. I mean, to say that I used them, and some that I used once in a while, and then never got to try them all, and maybe, who knows. But I can go in there and use my, I have XFC App Finder. I like it the best for finding apps, and I can always go in there and look for apps, and when I need something. So, and it's just really been completely different. And as the years have gone by, it's not only less apps there, but much harder to find them and install them in DNF Dragora than I've ever. It's the worst it's ever been. I'll just have to say that since I got into Linux in 2005 with Fedora 5. But so anyway, some things you do you can't get. I was not into command line. You know, I had done a little here and there in Windows before, but I didn't like it. It was frustrating because I have trouble. My eyes swap letters and numbers, and I have trouble typing the right letters or knowing that I type the right letters, and sometimes or often. And so it's just an exercise in frustration to do any really serious work in the command line. So I always tried to stay away from it, but now I'm having to do it. And so what I can do, though, luckily, is copy and paste things. And luckily, there are plenty of people sharing how to do that stuff in the command line. So some things are actually quick and simple. You know, like doing this is really pretty simple. As long as you have the command, you can copy them, paste, and go. I don't use, like say there, you have to go edit a config file. I don't use the command line editors. I use Crusader Twin Panel File Manager to get to that folder and edit the files. Okay, so that's what I'm fixing to do. But first, I want to make, before I turn, I'm getting ready to turn automatic updates back on. But first, I want to make sure that my whole thing here is OBS Studio, when it updated to version 22, it's on 21.1.1 right now, and I reverted back to it, and I couldn't stream, and it kept crashing every time I hit stream. And I thought, just so happens I was doing a bunch of scene changes, adding stuff, and moving stuff around. I thought I had broke it, and I kept trying to fix it that way, and then I started, took me a couple of I worked on it for several days in a week, and then I quit, and I just started, you could still record, so I was recording and uploading videos, which really got old fast for a week or so, or two, and then I went back to it. It's taken me, not working on it every day, but I finally just decided to try reverting back to the older version, and there is just one version. There's only two versions available right now in Fedora 28, 21 and 22. So I've reverted back, worked perfectly. So it's a bug in the newer version of OBS. It happens to Windows users. It happens to Fedora 29. It happened to me in Fedora 28. So at first I thought it was probably something to do with Fedora updates, because that's not uncommon with Fedora. It's always on the bleeding edge, as some people like to say, and sometimes updates have bugs in them, But it turned out it was OBS this time. So, this time as in as programmed, bugs and problems go. OBS is, and I just didn't expect that, because I haven't really had any trouble with OBS other than a few random crashes. Usually when you're trying to move too fast in the settings or record and change settings at the same time, it used to crash sometimes. But now, and I hadn't had any trouble this, in like all of 2018, pretty much trouble at all. So I just wasn't thinking in that direction. So anyway, let's see, what do you got here? Okay, so that's where I'm going to go. And since I'm here, I guess I can go. Well, I don't want to open too many things up at the same time, so let's just take things as I do them. Okay, I just thought I would try to explain a little bit of what's going on here before I got started. But running DNF automatic, yeah, this is how. Okay, you edit the file. Well, you edit the file, you install it, you edit the file, and then you run this command to turn on the timer to tell us to check for updates and install updates. And you have a few options. My goal is to automatically download and install updates, and then check status of DNF automatic. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I want to see what the status is. You don't have to be root to do that. Now, to do those changes and things, you would have to be root. Have root privileges, I mean. And but I just want to check the status, and I don't think you have to be root to do that. So, yeah. Okay, so now the scheduler's still on, but it's not actually doing anything. So the next schedule would be today. Let's see. Wait. Yeah, 02. Yeah, it's backwards to me. It should be month, day, year to me in my mind. Okay, so 2019, 02, 08. So this is 02, 08. Whatever time 1355 would be, which that's another thing. I don't know why they do that. They don't do that in everything. I always set my systems to 12-hour clock, and these are one of the very few things that come up in a military time like that. So, now wait a minute, what's that? I think it gives, is that what that does? 1352, and then Friday, left, next, left, last, past 59 minutes ago, 12:55. Oh no, I thought for a minute I thought I saw normal time because I saw 12. Okay, so and then the next time would be Saturday at 11:49. So anyway, to see loaded but inactive timers to pass all. Okay, I would like to do that. Where do you put the all though? Yeah, you can't. I'll just have to clear it, I guess. Oh, you can't even do that. I don't know how to get out of that. Oh, yes, I do. Let's see, Control C. There we go. That's the standard, and I'm beginning to catch on to some of these things. That's the standard way to get out of stuff. Control C. Now, I'm going to say what they mean is dash, all. Okay, now. Yeah, that's the only, evidently, I was already seeing all because I didn't get an error saying you can't do that. So, yeah, what time that says doesn't really matter. I know that 14:55 is sometime in the afternoon. I don't know that much, if I remember right. Yeah, because like 12 a.m. and then all the way up till noon is normal, right? And then it changes, if I remember right. Okay, so now that's Fedora 21 or earlier versions, so I'm just going to stick in that area there. I'm going to leave that open. Now this page is a Fedora automatic page, DNF readthedocs.io. Okay, well, it's this is from GitHub, I guess. So I guess this is from the Fedora automatic project itself, not Fedora. That's what I'm guessing. Anyway, it's got details on more details on how to set it up and everything. Kind of explains about. I think that information's over on the other page too. But anyway, if this makes more sense to you, you could follow this one. I was looking through my links, and that's what I found. So my bookmarks. So I'm going to leave those like they are. Now the last thing I did. Okay, so I want to check. Okay, now I'll I'll go ahead and open up. Let's see. This would probably be better. Yeah, DNF Versionlock plugin. I couldn't find the link to that, but I had actually saved the page itself, so there it is. Sometimes that came up because that was still there because that's the state it was in when I downloaded the page. I used that add-on to check everything I download automatically for viruses and stuff. DNF Versionlock plugin. I'm not going to go through all the details of it, but I installed it, and then I went through what I needed to do to set it up. I had to run some commands. It's really hard to read that because I had done a search. What I had done is I had done a search right over there, and it gave me some links, and I clicked on it, and it came up with all these highlights from my search terms. It makes it hard to read. But anyway, you run these commands to set up a version lock. Let's see. Now that's what I need to find. It's I don't think I ever went and looked. Configuration, yeah. etc DNF plugins Versionlock config. So I should be able to get there like that. And let's see if I can get there. Well, let's just go ahead and open up Crusader in root mode. I'm going to need it in a minute anyway. This is how I do things instead of after I get my root password in, I'll continue talking here. This is how I do things. It's much easier for me than trying to, I did find then a lot of the some of the command line terminal, text editors are hard to navigate because you have to know the commands to even once you get them, even though they may have a little GUI. Once you get, oh, it was already there, and I see this. You can tell it's in root. Now you have root user privileges, so you got to be careful. You can break your system real fast. But what I was going to do is try to select that, copy and paste that in there. Now that takes me straight to that folder. Now, what were we looking for? Versionlock plugin or Versionlock config. That's what we want. Versionlock config. Now. Debug info install config Versionlock list. Okay, Versionlock config. Okay, now there's the config file, and it tells you to go look in Versionlock list. I just saw that list file, and that's why I went, oh. Now what should be in here is OBS Studio 21. I ran those commands, and this is what it did. It created this list file, and it put these entries in it. Okay, let's see. OBS Studio 21.1.1. This is supposed to, if I did it right, this should exclude them from getting updated. Now, I ran the command the way it should. And if you want to see all that and you want to do it or whatever, my last several videos were about that. I think it's the one before this one and I'll try to name them where it makes sense, but before this one that where I did that, so you could look at you'd have to look at that video, look through it. But so one thing I did, okay, OBS Studio 21.1.1.1 at C28 and OBS Studio 22.0.3 -3. Oh, yeah, it's not all dots. Some of them are dashes. So anyway, those shouldn't. I was expecting to just not upgrade, 21.1. But then again, maybe it makes sense. I don't know. They both got put in there, so hopefully, what I hope is it doesn't let it update to this one because that's the broken one. So I don't want to turn it on without figuring that out first. And it says added exclude, and the explanation in there on that page that I just came off of, it explains what's going to happen and which command, what you want to do. And I don't know why it's in there more than once. Maybe it gets put in there automatically by DNF automatic or something, because I didn't run the command over and over. As a matter of fact, I'll go over here and see, I already have that file. Didn't I already open that file? Oh, I opened up the HTML. Okay, now here's the text file where I saved my output of running those commands. And from the explanation, I didn't, right here on this page, it was hard for me to, if I didn't have some experience in command line, I might have never figured it out, but I didn't have enough to just do it right off the bat. But, so DNF Versionlock list was my first command, and then, let's see, what did it do? Oh, you know what? I can't remember it well enough now. DNF. Now I remember. The reason I did Versionlock. I'm trying to recreate my last video out of my head and I can't do it. DNF. I did DNF list OBS Studio because I needed to. I thought, well, I'll need these exact. I thought I was going to need the exact version number, the whole thing, and so I kept trying to put that in there. DNF Versionlock. I was trying to run the DNF Versionlock exclude command here, and look, it highlighted them all. So there you go. So it didn't work every which way I typed it in there until I finally just typed in DNF Versionlock exclude OBS Studio. Now I needed to do libs. I knew that because I saw that in DNF Dragora. Where? Okay, here we go. DNF Versionlock exclude OBS Studio x86-64. And so it added it. But it added them both. That's just what it did. I tried doing them, just the version, and it wouldn't work. I kept getting errors. So I finally decided, okay, that's the right way to do it. And so then I did the libs because they're one of the dependencies, but well, they're the only other dependency of DNF of OBS Studio that actually shows up in DNF Dragora where you could install or uninstall it separately. And when I was reverting back, I tried just installing version 21, and it ended up installing version 21 just fine, but it installed the version 22 libs, and it kept crashing when you try to open it. So I had to go back and look through Dragora and figured that out. And so now what I want to do, speaking of Dragora, is kind of leave enough stuff open so I can do what I need to do. I'm worried about the machine. Okay, we're not doing bad on anything right now, resource usage. Okay, so I'm going to open up let's see. I'm going to open up regular Dragora because I don't want to. I started to open up the updater, but I don't know if it'll just go to work and try to do updates. I can't remember. I haven't opened it in so long because I turned on automatic updates and forgot about it. And actually, I ended up taking the Dragora updater out of the startup because it kept conflicting with the auto updates. But once this gets loaded up, what I'm going to do is switch this this right over here to just updates and see what comes up. And what I hope comes up is that there'll be a, it will select, or it'll show updates, but actually it might not work. I'm thinking it will show. It's going to show updates. I was thinking this would show me whether or not that was going to work right, but you know what? I don't think it will before I actually run, update. But now I'm already thinking, why would me putting that exclude? Well, we'll see. Maybe the exclusion that I just tried to go through and show will. Maybe it will cause it not to show up when I look through the updates. Maybe I should have opened the updater. Maybe we'll find out. If this doesn't do what I was hoping, the way I expected, then we'll try it with the updaters part of it. It's taking forever to bring them in. While it's deciding to get itself loaded, I'll go ahead and go back into, I'll go to etc DNF, and we'll look at automatic config. Oh, now it's done. I'll go ahead and, since I've already got that in my Now we'll be looking at well, let's go ahead and look at automatic config. Now I have an original that I changed to a text file because I didn't want it. If I leave a named .config, it might get read by the system and used. Sometimes that does happen if you, you know, want to leave the original. I like to leave the original in its folder and then just name it text or take its file extension. Well, sometimes you take the file extension off, it'll still be used. So if you name it text, usually it won't get used most of the time. So I'm just going to view it. Now, right here, I see it right away, and I'll go through it in a little more detail when I do it. But download updates, no. I changed, that was yes. I had set it to yes, and apply updates, yes. It's the only two changes I made to stop my updates from being, happening automatic. And that did work, I believe, because OBS still works. Now, I haven't checked any otherwise than that, than just knowing that OBS still works. Okay, now, groups are all. Okay, that's this section here. Now, this one, to update. That's what I want instead of all. All right, now, I guess it will take a while. Oh, okay, there we go. Now, there's plenty of updates. Now, let's OBS. I think that'll, oh yeah, hitting enter won't work. Okay, there are updates showing for OBS Studio and OBS Studio Libs. It would update it to that, I suppose. So that does show up in there. Now, I don't want to do that at all. Let's go back to all because that's the way I want it. And if you wanted to, you could say check all, or you could just manually check the ones you wanted. I may have to do that. I may have to manually do my updates until OBS gets fixed. But I think that plugin should work. It could be that I just didn't. I would remember having trouble understanding. I got to wait for that to finish doing its thing. I remember having trouble understanding these instructions here. Let's kind of look at them again. Let's see. Versionlock is a plugin that takes a set of names and versions for a package and excludes all other versions of those packages. This allows you to protect packages from being updated by newer versions. Alternatively, it accepts a specific package version to exclude from packages. Okay, for when it is necessary to skip a specific release of a package that has known issues. Oh, exclude. Okay. Well, I want to skip 22. And okay. The plugin provides a command. Oh, I hate that yellow crap. If I could get that out of there. DNF Versionlock. Is there like a link? I don't see Versionlock. These links might not work anyway since this is that page I saved. So I'm just going to try to read through this. The plugin provides a command Versionlock, which allows you to view and edit the list of locked packages easily. Now, I just looked at that list. Plugin will walk each walk. There's something seriously wrong with that page. Walk each line of the Versionlock file and parse out the name and version of the package. It will then exclude any package by the name that doesn't match one of the versions listed within the file. This is basically the same as using DNF exclude for the package name itself, as you cannot exclude installed packages. But DNF will still see the versions you have installed. version locked and as available so that DNF reinstall will still work. Okay. It can also work in the opposite way, like fast exclude by prefixing a character to the version recorded in the lock list file. This specific excludes a package that matches the version exactly. Note the version plugin does not apply any excludes in non-transactional operations like repo query, list, info, etc. DNF version lock, so-and-so, arguments, package, spec to lock or exclude. I'm wondering if I did it backwards now. DNF version lock, add package spec. And that was where I had trouble figuring out exactly what, part of the package to put in there, package name. Add a version lock for all available packages matching the spec. Version lock. I ran the second command. I may have done it wrong, matching the spec. It means that only versions of packages represented by package spec will be, I just read what I see, will be available. Okay, it means that only versions of packages represented by the package and spec will be available for transaction operations. Oh, well, I don't want them to be available. I don't want them updated. DNF version lock exclude. Add an exclude within version lock for the available package matching this spec. It means that the package repository, it means that the packages presented by package spec will be excluded from transaction operations. Well, that's what maybe that is right, what I did. I did the second one. That's why I'm worried. See, this is right here why I'm worried about it. It would be so much easier to read it if it wasn't jacked up with all this yellow. That just kills my eyes. I just can't read through that weird highlighting. It seems like it adds extra spaces where they don't belong and stuff to my eyes. So, okay, DNF version lock list or DNF version lock list the current lock entries, which I can do that. But I know what they are because I just looked in the version lock file itself. Let's see, DNF version lock delete. Okay, remove any matching DNF version lock clear. Of course, I could do that, but if I want to start over. And then configuration, etc DNF version lock config. The minimal content of the config file should contain a. This is why I ran the commands and didn't try to manually edit that. I had no idea how to format that file, Main sections with enable and lock list parameters. This option is a string that points to the file which has the version lock information on it. Note that the file has to exist or the version lock plugin will make DNF exit. However, it can be empty. The file takes entries in the format of package spec, optional, prefixed. A specified package does not have to exist within the available cache of repository data to be considered valid or locking or exclusion. This is by design to accommodate use case such as presently disabled repository. However, a package must exist in the repository cache when the add or exclude subdomains are invoked for it. Okay. Kind of got a little lost in the last couple of sentences there, but or two. Add a version lock for all available packages matching the spec. It means that only versions of packages represented by will be available for transactions. Okay, yeah, I don't want it to have a transaction. I want it to, I don't know why they can't just say upgrade, update. You know, why don't they use, for instance, Fedora, especially, I don't remember Debian's. Well, I think they're both that way. Actually, maybe not. Fedora pounded in your head over and over the difference between upgrade and update. Upgrade has always been when you upgrade to a newer version of Fedora. Update is when you update a package of any package on the system. Update a kernel, update a package, whatever. But an upgrade is the entire system. Well, now I actually believe they are beginning to change that syntax, you know, that terminology when you read some of the new articles. And they're kind of jumping back and forth where it's getting confusing. And here in this article, why don't they just use, you know, I don't want to update, I don't want to upgrade, I don't want my package. Why are they using all this? It sounds like legalese, you know, like they're trying to be lawyers. The normal way they have always talked about packages, whoever wrote this wants to use some other strange, impressive language that can barely goes through my head, especially when I guess I'm griping because I don't feel too well and I'm not comprehending it when they change it up so much. All right, so now installed. Okay, now you can see the one I have installed, and then there's the update. So that looks to me like, and looking at the updates a minute ago, that looks to me like I'm not ready to use auto updates. I'm going to quit that. Now, I started to say I'll open up, you know, the DNF Dragora updater, but why would it look any different? Well, let's look at it because I don't know how else I'm going to tell. That, you know, might show it might look different for all I know. It may. I know one thing. It shows you what's going to be updated. So when it decides to open up, well, that's not the fault of Fedora or Dragora. I'm always ragging on Dragora because it really is. I can't stand it. It just sucks. But that's because of my system. I'm making a video and I'm doing all this stuff on my system. And my system is only a quad core with 4 gig of RAM, so it's doing pretty good considering. We'll see how long it takes for that to open up. It may not open up the GUI. It may open up here. Yeah, there it is. 165 updates available. Let's see if that'll let us see them. No. I'm going to make sure we don't do update. Open the dialog. Check for updates. There we go. Now all it does is just... That's right. All it does is just open up. Look, it's exactly the same window I was in a minute ago. So I'm not going to get anything any different. But I won't try to interrupt it. I'll let it finish opening up. Okay. Yeah, the way I found this page here... I think was by searching in here. Oh, let's see. That would take me back to the site and get me out of... it may not take me anywhere because sometimes, like I said, sometimes I can't use it. I've fixed try to use that search. I can't do that. I'm not on the site yet. I'm back on the site. Let's see. Edit on GitHub Docs. Let's go to Docs. Now it did work. It went back to the site. There. Instead of using the search, now it's readable. I didn't even save that part of it. I didn't say. Maybe I saved my search results. Now, where I don't know, I'm going to put it in Fedora auto updates because I don't know where else to put it. Wait, let's see. I may have a folder for Versionlock and can't find it. There, Versionlock plugin. I just don't know where. Yeah, that's probably where I searched. Yep. I put it in Fedora Linux project. Oh, okay. That's it. Okay. I'm going to put it, I'm going to make it its own folder so I can find it again. I didn't remember where I put it. Maybe that'll work. I only have one page right now, but now maybe I can read this. That was just killing me. Okay. I won't try to read it out loud again. I'm going to get me a cough drop too, so maybe I'll quit coughing and draining so bad. So I won't sit here and try to read it out loud again. Maybe I'll, try to, read off a little bit of it just to not be silent. In a video where you're supposed to be talking, Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so we're not going to have any installed update. That's not actually showing the updates, but it always does that anyway. So let's look at OBS. There's what I have. Yeah, so you can't. I'm having a hard time telling, like figuring out whether or not I'm going to have, if I've done it right, to where it'll be skipped. Okay, back to the Versionlock plugin page. I forgot that was the icon's not up there. I'm going to end that process because the last thing I want is for it to update. That's what I'm trying to make sure. If it'll be even safe to do it. File in Firefox. I thought I closed that window. I did. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's see. Okay. Versionlock is a plugin that takes a set of names and versions for packages and excludes all other versions of those packages. This allows you to protect packages from being updated by newer versions. Alternately, it accepts a specific package version to exclude from updates. Right? And that's what I want to do. I mean, either way, it's the same thing, though. I mean, I could just actually maybe that's what I got in there. All versions of OBS are excluded. But okay, presently, but what happens when a new version comes out? Then it would go up to that one, which might be okay. Skipping from 21, skipping 22 and going to 23 or whatever. But right now, I think it'd be, to me, the safest thing would be is to exclude version 21 from updating until I know that the other one's going to work. When it's necessary to skip a specific release, yeah. that's exactly what I got going on. I want to skip 22. It doesn't in non-transactional operations like query, list, info. So basically, when I opened up the GUI, it was doing, well, I guess I'm sure it did a repo query. That's why it took so long to load everything up. And then list updates. Okay. But I think I could have went ahead and, well, I mean, maybe if I'd have selected it to update, it wouldn't have worked. I don't know. Now, but package spec lock or exclude. Okay, yeah, subcommands. Okay, let's go look at the DNF Versionlock config. DNF Versionlock config. Oh yeah, and then it says go look at the list. Okay, this is what's in my list. Add exclude February 2. Well, that's when I did it, evidently. Okay. Oh, it has the exclamation point in front of it. So what I did, I mentioned that. Can also work in the opposite way, like a fast exclude by prefixing a character to the version record in the lock file. This specific excludes the package that matches the version exactly. Okay, so they're both excluded. What I think I've done is excluded 21 from updating and excluding 22 from updating. What I want is to hold it on 21. Includes all other versions. Other versions of those packages. This allows to protect it. Oh. This allows you to protect the packages from being updated by newer versions. Well, maybe that, okay. Now it tells, now I'm starting to think that the way my file is, it's going to exclude both of them. And then when the next one comes out after 22, then it would update. So then maybe I'm okay. This is such a big maybe here. I'm still scared to turn on automatic updates. It's not super hard to fix now, but it definitely would take a couple of hours. Now that I know what to do, you know. I mean, as far as fixing OBS again, by uninstalling, reinstalling, all that stuff with the older version. Add Versionlock for all available packages matching this spec. This means that only versions of packages represented by package spec will be available for transaction operations. That wouldn't be what I want. Okay. The second one, add and exclude within Versionlock for the available package matching the spec. This means that packages represented by package spec will be excluded from transaction operations. Okay. That should be, that's the one I ran. I'm almost certain of that. Well, I can Versionlock exclude. Where's my file? Did I leave it open? Or am I there? I'm in, okay, here's where the file is. Let's see. This is where I ran my commands. DNF, Versionlock exclude, OBS Studio libs, DNF, Versionlock exclude, OBS Studio at x86-64. Okay. And that gave me both of them. Adding exclude on 21 and 22. So, yeah, I did the exclude one. I didn't do the add. That sounds to me like those would be updated. I mean, that sounds to me like those would not. Okay, DNF Versionlock list. Go ahead and close our file again. Okay, so there's our Versionlock list file. Now let's just go ahead and we'll just open a terminal in that folder. It won't really matter in this case. I don't think. Yeah, okay. '21, '22, '21, '22, and the libs. Those are all locked. Okay. That's what's being locked, right? Or DNF Versionlock. Lists the current Versionlock entries. Now I just, oh, I did the libs, right, okay. See our little, oh, let's just go in here and look. Running the command sometimes helps me understand. It gave us the same thing. It seems to me that all of these will be that would keep us on 21 and make sure we skip 22, I think. Oh, then the next is delete and clear. We don't want to do any of that. The minimum content of the config file should have main, enable, and lock list parameters. Okay, I really didn't pay attention to what was in that file, but I want to save the output there of that. I'm just going to put it there for now, and then I'm gonna have to close some stuff real soon. I forgot when you do that sometimes it hit enter. Will it work? Dang it. I forgot that that does that sometimes. I don't know if it does it a lot. I don't use it a lot anymore. I can't get it to, can't get my mouse to go anywhere but there. I just want to get out of that part now, before it's too late. Before it's quit, before it's too late. Okay, so it's not that important. I just need to close stuff. Got too many things running here. Let's close these other windows that I'm not using right now. And close this other. Now I'll just keep the basic stuff I really need. See if my, yeah, at least my stream's still working and everything. Stream's good and it's green. It started out yellow, but it turned green and it stayed green. I haven't, if it changed, I didn't notice it. Still don't know why that one called file in Firefox is showing to be open. But oh, I was gonna look at the Versionlock config file and just view it. I don't want to edit it. Okay, main enabled one locks etc plugin list. Okay, that was made automatically when I ran those commands first time. I mean, the best I can understand it, I think it's right. I think it should lock it from upgrading that package. I'm honestly still scared because I had so much trouble for, like, I think it was 3 weeks of, you know, having OBS not working. Well, I figured out how much I love OBS, being able to stream with it. I have to have a drink here. Because when I was making my videos and work, you know, doing my work, making my videos, and then uploading every day, it was taking 3 or 4 hours a day to get those videos uploaded. And, well, 3 hours usually to upload them, and then another couple of hours, maybe more, 3 hours to rename them and all that stuff. What I'd end up doing is doing it as quick as I could and not really doing a efficient job. There's probably 20 videos I didn't, you know, put a explanation, can't think of the right word, on them, you know. So see, DNF, DNF automatic config. Now I'm debating about whether I want to turn it on or not. I hate turning it on and then just, you know, I don't know when it's going to update. But that's really the only way I can see if it's going to work, because if I run update manually, I mean, I could go in the terminal and run updates and watch it, and that should do the same thing. You know, this should still work, I believe, but I won't be able to stop it. Once you say DNF update, it's not going to, you know, it's just going to do the updates. So, of course, if I have the program open, it probably won't update till I close it and open it back up or something. But okay, well, this is what I needed to figure out before I turned on automatic updates. But I do know I have 150 some odd, 156 or something updates, and only 2 of them I don't want done. You know, I didn't pay attention to what they were, but I'm sure there's something important about, you know, each and every one of them. Hopefully none of them would break anything different. I really don't see any other way than trying it now, and I hate to do that, but oh yeah, I read that before. You know what? I want to save this one this time. And I don't know how I named it last time, but that other one with the yellow on it, I want to delete that one. But it's a good thing I saved it, because I didn't put it in a folder where I could remember where I had put it. See, that's what my, VTZilla. It scans, it actually scans every file you download into, it gives 2 reports. Well, it's the file and the URL. It scans the URL and the file, if there's a file, which I'm saving that HTML file. So, like I'd be downloading, like an ISO or something like that, or a zip tar.gz or a zip file, and it would scan the page it came from and the file itself. So, it just happens that I'm just saving the HTML right now. Since they download pretty fast, I can click on both of those links. It takes usually way longer to get that scan completed, but see, 0 of 56 scanners found anything wrong with Versionlock HTM. That's the name it sees it as. And that one isn't done. Sometimes you gotta, well, it's still working. Sometimes it just hangs up and you can hit reload and it'll finish and do its job. You can do it anyway, I think. Yeah, see, it's in the same, well, no, it's getting done a little quicker now. No, I probably messed it up. Let's try it again. I may have screwed it all up now. There we go. 0 and 69 for the, now that gives the whole address. So that's the address. That scanned the address. So anyway, it's good. But I didn't expect anything to be wrong with it, but it's automatic. I have it turned on automatic because I'd forget to do it. Okay, so, history. Auto updates, and let's go ahead and close Versionlock. Oh, that's that page, okay. But this explains, how it works, and about the timer and all that, which I already have turned on. I just left it on and didn't turn it off because I knew it would just not do anything, That's the same page again. There we go. And here is where I actually went to, this is what I'm used to using, this page here of etc DNF automatic. Okay. So all I have to do is re-edit the page. I guess I'll try it because how else am I going to know? And I need my updates. So this time I'm going to click on edit. And okay, so what kind of upgrade to perform? Default, security. Now these are commented out. The number sign in front of it means it'll be ignored. It's just a comment for you to read. You can, like these, I think might be originally when you get the file, fresh install. Can't find the keys. They might be like that, commented out. That's called commented out. But either that, well, maybe those aren't because you have a no on there. So anyway, I'm going to say yes. And I like this editor because if you do something wrong, it tells you. This is KViewer. I like KWrite and KViewer, KR Viewer too. It's saved. Now here's where I'm talking about upgrade and update. Upgrade type. Now see, they're using the word upgrade, and that threw me off. I was like, wait, I'm not looking for the upgrade section, because there is files for upgrading the system. Config files for that. I'm looking for files that on updating the applications on the system. But this is the right place, right file. So that's what I was complaining about earlier. I don't know why that highlights everything when I do that. I'm not trying to do that. Random sleep 300, and I've read about how that works, but that schedule, well, that's how it makes it work Otherwise, if you had it like, I always try to do it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, well, you may not have your computer on, and then you miss your update window. So this way, it makes it after you in general end up working. If you're on the computer for a few hours a day, then you'll end up getting an update, if there is any. And this here, to just receive updates, use DNF automatic notifier timer. Other updates should be downloaded when they are available by DNF automatic timer, notify timer, download timer, and install timer. Override this setting. So anyway, download updates, yes. Where they should be applied, apply updates, yes. You can change a bunch of other things. You can, not going to go through every one of them. Some of them I don't like that one there. I don't remember what that is. And my brain is too tangled up today to even know what the heck I'm reading hardly. I'm familiar with this file, so I know that part's right. You can have an email. It's set to email root at Lenovo i5, so it won't be coming in my email client because it doesn't go out to the internet. It just goes through the machine to another folder. But there'll be a little notice in there's a folder where your root and regular user emails are stored, system emails, and you could set it up to a real email address, but you got to do a bunch of stuff, set up the email mapping and all that stuff, the host and all that. So see, that's just saying email host, local host, and all that. You'd have to set all that up with your email provider and all that junk. So it's not worth the trouble to me. I don't do it. And although it would be kind of nice to get one, I guess now, since I don't have a GUI notifier telling me it's getting an update. It didn't used to work that way. What was it, Apper, I think, that was the default. Yeah, Apper was the default package manager. It would just have a little icon show up and say, you're getting updates. I'm just putting my mouse up there in the area. And you would know you were getting updates. And as a matter of fact, it used to ask you if there's anything kind of special about an update. It would say, well, do you want to go ahead and do it or not, and stuff like that. So no, you don't get any of that anymore. And if you leave that, like I said, that the Dragor updater icon that I showed a while ago when I turned it on, it was trying to do it on it was trying to it would notify you that there were updates, but while it was running, when I first set up automatic updates, they weren't working. I thought they would be working, and after several days, maybe a week, I realized they're not working because I just forgot about it, thought it was working. Well, when that Apper opens itself automatically, when you have it in the startup, you just go to I don't know why they have these two separate sections like that. Startup applications. When you go in there and there it is right there. If that's set to start up with the system, then it was stopping my automatic updates from working. So I just turned it off. So anyway, there's more and more about email, and this down here, I guess that says shell command to use to send an email, rootexample.com. I may not have finished filling that out, so I may not be getting them. Anyway, looks like I started doing it and then changed my mind, unless that was already in there by default, but they are, they're not commented out. See, the commands aren't. Did some complete mess up here. Oh no, I didn't. I thought it had edited that. Just moved. I don't know what's going on with my mouse lately. It does that kind of weird stuff sometimes. But I already saved it a while ago, so I think I'll just leave it as is. Close it, and then open it again and see. I'll just view it. Yeah, it still says yes. So anyway, that looks like maybe it's not set up. rootedexample.com down there. Command email. Oh, that's the command. Send from. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't ever do that, I guess. I don't know why it's in there twice. I think that's two ways of sending emails is what it is. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, everything's okay. I'm not going to fool with that. Doesn't matter whether that gets in there or not. To me right now. I can go etc DNF. Let's see. Let's go to, I don't know if it's user. I can't remember. Yeah, it's not there. I think it's in var. Mail might be there. Yeah, but don't see root though. Let's see if there's anything to view in there. That's empty. Well, I was telling it to send it to root anyway, so. I saw it not too long ago. That's why I was thinking maybe I would show it. Mostly what's in here that I use is www.htm. That's where my website. So that's where your websites would be. And I don't have Apache installed, but you still have those folders there by default, even if you don't have Apache web server installed or a web server. That FTP folder, if you wanted to publish FTP files on FTP, just on your local network or on the internet, that's where you would put them. Well, it's not important to just keep going through there. Okay. Let's see. Forgot. Is that it? Yeah. DNF. I thought I would leave that like that. Actually, I always forget. You know, the regular Fedora. Regular Fedora. Crusader in regular user mode, wherever you were is where it'll open up last. But when you open up root mode from the regular user like I just did, then it'll open up wherever you are at that time. So it doesn't help to stay in a folder or anything. So anyway, that's how you turn them back on. Systemctl list timers. We did that a while ago. So let's just see. This time I did it as a root. I don't think it'll make any difference as to what you see, but loaded but inactive timers. Pass all. Let's try that now. I don't know. Well, like I said last time, that's how I did it last time. That's just it. There's two timers, period. Okay, so, oh, wait. No, that's the same readout. Okay. 15:56, 13. 58 minutes left before it runs again. And then last, 14:56, 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 seconds ago. Okay, well, let's see. DNF, yeah, okay. I just can't remember if you, I think if you just type DNF while it's running, you would see that it was running. It doesn't put you an icon up there or anything like I was saying. So, anyway, 15:56, 13. Well, let's try and see what time that would be. See if that'll tell me or if I'm going to have to. Yeah, 1556 UTC. See if that'll do it. Well, yeah, regular time. There we go. 3:30. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so it's going to be 15:30, 1556. Oh, okay. Where's one of those calculators? Maybe that'll do it. There we go. Boy, that's hard to read. Let's see. AM, PM. So we know we're PM at least. 1556. There we go. 3:56. Okay. So that's what time our updates are due. That's almost about an hour away almost. So I'm going to close that so I can't accidentally do damage to the system. Alternative CLI to DNF upgrade with specific facilities to make it suitable for executed automatically and regularly from system timers, cron jobs, and similar. Oh, yeah, they're calling it upgrade again. This is what I was talking about, and they used to go on and on and on about making sure you get your vernacular right. The difference between upgrade and update. We're not doing upgrades, we're doing updates to our packages. There's a whole nother system to do upgrades. You know, again, your distribution, you know, your distribution upgrade, like to Fedora. Well, this is Fedora 28. It would upgrade it to 29. You know, that doesn't happen automatically. You can set it up to do it pretty much automatically. But actually, I don't think so. Not anymore. Used to, it would come up with a GUI thing saying, "Do you want to upgrade?" There's an upgrade available. You click on it, it would do it. Now you got to run some commands, and then it does it for you. Most of it, unless it has problems. So anyway, that's more explanation. I'm just too tired to read on and try to explain anything that I don't know off the top. You know, already know off the top of my head. So I'm scared. I really don't want that broke again. Spray progress of ongoing downloads. Oh, it failed. That HTML file I tried to download failed. Well, you stink, don't you? Why did it fail? Try it again. There. Oh, now it worked. Okay. Well, let's go look at it. Go look at it, because I didn't know that had failed. I just remembered that. I want to get rid of that one that can't even read. There it is, Fedora 28 info, and then we'll go to downloads. Let's see. I think I ended up naming it the same exact thing, and this is the one that I can't read. Save my life, yeah. Okay, so that one I'm going to delete. And put this one over there. I should have looked first, huh? Yeah, it's, uh-oh. Oh, no, it's okay. I thought there was something wrong with it. Wait, that's something different. No, that's it. It just looks completely different. But that's all right. As long as it's easy to read, I'm happy with it. Doesn't look like the original like they usually do. I don't care. I just want the information. And it kind of turned like it converted it into a more than just a plain old HTML file, but I wonder if those work. Nope. They usually don't, but sometimes they do. Depends on how kind of, you know, formatting it's made in. If it's a dynamic website, it usually doesn't. Or if it's HTML that you're downloading, and you know that it was made with HTML. Sometimes it can be made with HTML, and it can be snippets of HTML inside of a damn website, and it may still work for the most part. Anyway, the backup file still working. Haven't checked it at all, really. I guess it is. It's not. Doesn't look small enough to have broken or anything. The bigger they get, the longer it takes for them to get grow to the next size. So, my system should update. I don't know if it might take a reboot to get that to happen, but it should update. You know, at whatever time it was, 3:56 or something. I'm looking at my bookmarks again. I don't think there's anything else to do with this that I want to look at. Adjusting auto updates, you can do that. Not quite sure. Oh, don't do that. I have trouble with it. It's acting up now. It's get a unresponsive script error every other time you use that sorting. Well, actually, just in that folder, it'd probably be fine, but I'm not even going to do that. But if you do them all, it happened a while ago. And then I was trying to open up another. I was trying to open that one up in another tab, and it wouldn't do anything. Finally, I realized. Remember that error, so I closed it and opened it back up, and then it was fine again. There's system upgrade and automatic updates. All right, now let's see. This is exactly what I was talking about a while ago. DNF system upgrade. What is DNF system upgrade? There you go. Sudo upgrade refresh. I'm not going to go through every bit of it. This is a system upgrade, but yet they're using that language in that update file, auto update file. That's what was really throwing me off. Now here's auto updates, a real brief thing about it. And oh, you have to go next like that. Okay. And then install signed packages from unknown repositories. Well, that didn't. Oh yeah, here's where I saw that in Genome, and this is not sure what version it's talking about, but in Genome you can go to System Preferences, System Software Updates, and change your settings. Well, you can't do that. KDE, go to Applications, so System Preferences, System Software Updates. There is no System Preferences, and then there is no System and I looked and looked, and I thought, well, maybe it's there, but it's in a different place. I couldn't find it. So I don't think Mate does it. But I guess Genome 3 does. I'm pretty sure they're talking about Genome 3 here. So yeah, if you have Genome 3 or KDE, there's how you should be able to go. Unless this is really old. I don't know how old it is. I don't see a date there. I don't see a version. Which version of Fedora? Oh, well, there you go. This is not 28 or 29. 26 is the newest in here, so that may or may not be correct. It only goes up to 26. Okay. But yeah, this here, DNF upgrade, that is different than update, even though they were using the word upgrade somewhere in one of these pages here. Yeah, you have to. No, I don't know how old this is either. Let's see. You have to pay attention. Sometimes it doesn't even tell you what version, or sometimes like that other page I was on that was from the wiki, like this is. You know, it spanned all the way. The instructions were still good, but it said Fedora 22 and newer, and it was still good, you know. So sometimes it's hard to figure out if you're getting in the right place to get the right instructions. Refresh, I guess that's updating the cache, the repo data cache. But you need to install plug-in system upgrade if you want to do that upgrade. This is why I don't get an upgrade, because I don't have that installed. I didn't do that. And I probably won't. And then download the update packages in this case. Well, this is new because it says Fedora 29. And then, anyway, you go on and you do all these steps. And it's not too bad. See, then you do the, you want to import that key, and then, what does it say for Fedora 31 primary? I guess that's just where it is. And then sudo DNF system upgrade or reboot. So then it will, once you've got everything downloaded, you've done all the stuff you're supposed to do, then it'll reboot and start installing it. It will, this will reboot the machine immediately and should boot again into Fedora using the same kernel, but this time the upgrade process appears on the boot screen. So, you know, if you really want to do this, this is how to do it. Option post-upgrade tasks. Upgrade system configuration files. Now, there may also be another GUI way to do it. I will say one thing, especially these days, since the GUIs aren't as being maintained as much as they used to be, a lot of them, and a lot of them are not even available anymore, or haven't been maintained, and they don't work anymore because they haven't been updated. They're more likely to break and cause trouble. I mean, they could break your system on an upgrade like this. So if you find recent instructions for doing it in the command line, unless you get something wrong yourself, then you have, if you get it, like if you just copy and paste and you get all that part right, then you should have a better chance of it working successfully. But you have to read all that and start getting it. Even if you don't understand it, you just have to follow instructions to a T. And I'm actually not too good at that. I'm better at going on what I've learned and doing things, shooting from the hip. That's what I always, I don't know how to say it. But also can get in a real headache that way sometimes too. But as much as I've learned, as much as I've learned since 2005, my memory wasn't so bad. I would really know how to do just everything. I forget. If I don't use it for, about 3 months, then I forget just the vaguest memory of it. And then when I start doing it again, it starts coming back. But that's why come when I looked through there, I started saying, oh yeah, I remember that, But anyway, I think what I'm going to do, I'll just do that right now, is, oh yeah, that'll kill this video. I was going to say, I'm going to reboot it and show the reboot, but I can't do that with this machine. I can only do that on another machine. This one has to stay running. I mean, I can reboot, but I can't do it and keep streaming. But I really am done with what I want to show, except for maybe rebooting and, there's nothing to show unless I see, until 356, I think it was, nothing. There's not going to be anything to show, because I don't want to do a manual update, because I'm really not sure. I think it would skip them, and I could probably run DNF update, and it would skip them. I might be able to show it, Well, it's going to go by so fast, so that's the thing. It'll go through the list of packages so fast. I don't know that we could. Well, I guess one thing I could do is save the terminal output and go through it. That would show what's going on, wouldn't it? But again, well, I'm not 100%. I mean, yeah, I wasn't 100% sure whether if I did it in the terminal, if it would override that plugin. that I've just been going through this whole time, and then the settings I did. But it shouldn't, should it? Because the auto update's just done silently in the background in the terminal, basically. It's just, well, it's not actually done in a terminal. Well, maybe, it's done it silently in the background, and, well, for instance, you know what? It kind of, I mean, if something's running, okay, this is everything that's running in the background, right? Now, there is an option, like, let's see, I've closed Firefox and everything else now. There's the default file managers kind of running in the background. Now, you can show application window. Now, I'm not even going to do that because everything I've ever clicked it on, it doesn't work. I don't know why. But what I'm trying to say is this stuff is running. However, it's supposed to be said. This stuff is running in the background. I mean, a terminal is just a text application, you know, with text output instead of a graphic user interface like this. So, yeah, I guess it's not like running in a terminal in the background. It's just running in the background, a process in the background. I guess is really how you should say it, and how it is, you know. But the update, oh, I'm on the camera. What I was over here in the system monitor, and I was just looking at this. And KJ, the default. This is a process that just runs anytime the system's running. But there is this where you can say show application window, and I can do it. It won't hurt anything, but just nothing happens. I've never actually seen an application window come up when I do that. I thought it might be a cool thing, but if the application itself was running, kind of scared it. Like OBS is running, but I'm kind of scared to do that. Let's see. I'll open up Crusader and try it. It's got me kind of curious now. I forgot that I actually wanted to see. Yeah, that's gotten bigger, that file has. So I was wondering about that a while ago. So now there's Crusader. So I'll right click on there and say show application window. Yeah, it doesn't jump over to the window or anything. It just didn't. Oh, there it is. It's down there. It brought it up at the bottom, and now I can click on it and it'll take me over there. Okay, that's all it does. But if it's not an application that has a window, a graphic user interface, up and running at the time, it won't show it. For instance, KJ, it's not running right now. I mean, other than the background process. And I noticed that sometimes. I notice it because sometimes it actually crashes. It doesn't make my system crash or anything, but then I think if you just go and open up KJ right after that, it may not work right. It may not open till you reboot. I don't use it because I like the twin file manager. But and also I'm kind of worried about it crashing out when I do use it because I see it doing that sometimes. Did it in Fedora 23 and it does it in Fedora 28. I skipped from 23 to 28. Far back as I can, I guess this is 23 as far back as I remember KJ being the default file manager. It used to be one of the others, I think. But sometimes I call it KJ, sometimes I call it KJ, whatever mood I'm in, I guess. But I've been up since, I think it's around 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, that's why I'm getting tired. I didn't feel well enough to get to work earlier today. I just watched videos and stuff. But now I'm too tired to keep going. 318. Okay. I'm really curious. The more I think about running it in the terminal window, the more I think maybe that really is a good idea. So that I will know. Otherwise, I'll just be kind of waiting for the, something to slap you in the back of the head whenever they open this up next time and it doesn't work. Because if I do it right now, then, well, I'll see whether I should be able to at least look through the terminal output and see whether or not it updates it. And then I would have to revert it for it to work again is what I'd have to do. But I also want to see if my auto updates work, though. That's the other thing. They should. I mean, I think I did everything right. Of course, that could be just another. I mean, that's not a super big deal. I think I'll run. I think I'll open a terminal. I'll just open up. Since it was acting kind of funny, you know, when I tried to save my output, I won't open it up in this one. I'll open it up this one, and just have given it its own little window. Now I'm going to have to be root privileges, so. I want to try that. I don't know what the right command is. There we go. Usage. DNF check error. Argument check yum types. Individual choice updates. DNF check. Legacy install. Oh. I know. I know there's a pretty simple command to just check and see if there's updates. It might be DNF check / updates. Could not be. DNF help. DNF command, let's see. It could be a DNF plugin command. Try DNF install DNF command check updates. I don't want to install it. I just wanted to. I don't even know if it exists. Oh, to plug in. Let's see, list. I think that's it. I just remembered, yeah, because it's taking so long, I think that's it. I just remembered how I found out what DNF list OBS, and I found out what what versions were available of OBS, so that I could do my exclusion the other day. Maybe this will tell me what's going to happen with the updates without actually running the updates. Okay, there we go. Going to be an update for Dragora, Gluster FS, something. I don't even know what. Oh, I installed things from groups that I haven't even tried yet. Some of them are turned out to be terminal apps that I'm not even going to try. HIJKLMNOP kernel. We got a new kernel. Kernel core, kernel develop, tools. What kernel is it going to be? 426. LMNOP, so LMNO. There we go, OBS. Uh-oh. '22. It's going to update to 22. Dang it. So I haven't got it done right. So I need to turn off those auto updates again before I get broken in my OBS again. You know, I'm just going to leave that sitting there like that and get in there and do that before I run out of time. Well, I'm glad that finally came into my head. I'm too tired to continue working. This stuff is a bit tricky anyway. And so, let's see. automatic, I believe. Let's see if this is it. Yep. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I had my updates turned on. Actually, I can look at the schedule again. I'll have to get the browser open again, but okay. I'm gonna close that for now. And I don't guess I have a command. If I have a command in there for that, I don't remember. I don't. Can't. My eyes are blurry. Even I'm just tired. Okay, so adjusting automatic updates, Versionlock. Oh, that's that thing. I don't think it's been too long since I've been in there for it to show up. Well, I'll have to get in my bookmarks. There we go. Is that it? I forgot what. Oh, I was looking for those commands to tell you. That's the timer. There's a bunch of commands, but that's not the list, is it? Well, that explains the whole file, though. Yeah, I see all that email from and to. That would probably explain some of the things that I couldn't remember. Now, here's what I was wanting. List timers. Let's check the status. Okay, now. Probably can't. Oh yeah, that was my. All I did was list them. I didn't ask it to do any updates. Remember that? Okay, so my timer is still at 15:56. All right. What was I saying? I was checking. Oh, well, the only way I have knowing whether or not automatic updates is turned on that I know of is just knowing what's in that file. So I did edit that file. So I shouldn't, and I hadn't had automatic updates happen. You saw that. So I'm guessing that what happened then is I did it wrong. But I've gone round and round in circles here, so I must have misunderstood those instructions, and I'll have to figure them out again. Maybe the first command is what I needed to do. Versionlock for all available. It means that you only have versions of packages. Let's see, wait. Okay, we'll look at the list. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm wanting to fix it. I'm thinking, okay, well maybe I can do it. Let's see. Okay. 2 timers list. Versionlock list. Oh, okay. That goes with the above. I just don't understand. '21, '22, '21. Yeah, and the libs 21 and 22. I don't know why it's in there twice up here above. Maybe because I typed I might have ran the command twice because I didn't know if I did it right or something. I don't know. But delete. Of course, I could do that. Delete a package. Remove any matching Versionlock entries. Versionlock clear. I could just remove them all and then do it again with the other way. DNF Versionlock add. That just doesn't make sense. That tells me that if I do that to my, what's in my list there, then that will make them available for transactions. Exclude. Add and exclude within Versionlock for any available package matching the spec. This means that the package represented by a package spec will be excluded from transaction operations. But from what I see, it's not doing what I want. And so the only way I can keep the those from getting upgraded is leave automatic updates turned off right now. I'm too tired. I really am. I can see me just completely screwing everything up. So I don't think I succeeded with Versionlock. There is another way of doing that, a new way that I tried and it didn't work, and so I gave up and went to Versionlock because I had remembered that there was some sort of plugin, for Yum back in the day, and I found it, still around. But the other one is supposed to be easy, and now that I understand how to do those commands from doing Versionlock, it might work in that other one. I don't know, but you just type in. Let's see if I can find it since I'm rambling about it. I think it's. I'm not sure where I put it. How many windows do I have open? Let me close that one. I don't need that. Let's see. I'm gonna save all that before I try to show what I was talking about. Can't seem to hit the right spot. Okay, so now I can close that. I'll leave that terminal window open until I'm done for sure. Okay. That's 23. I see that auto updates, and then I did it. Well, that's got more in there than just. But then I realized, oh no, I want Fedora 28. I forgot the name of it. Maybe it's in the just the Fedora or Linux Versionlock. Some of that. Oh no, core DNF plugin. Some of that stuff is in here. Maybe I put it in both places. I can't believe I lost that too. I don't know the name of it now. I just can't remember it at all. Got something my own website in the wrong place. Now I do remember I found it in the Fedora magazine guides. In the Fedora magazine. Modal, there it is. Modal, the Nest simulator on Fedora. Wait a minute. This is something else, isn't it? Supercomputing clusters. I messed around with some cluster distros one time. It was pretty cool. But there you got I found one that was actually easy enough I could get it up and going. It's where you can use several computers to work on the same, run the same program and work on the same work, do the same work, share the work. But sadly, I found out right quick there wasn't very many applications. This was way back around Fedora 11 or something around that time. It wasn't very many applications, you know, for regular users to use, like they're talking about, you know, all these science and all this stuff. But I did get two or three computers working together on. But then all I could do is just run like a test program or something. There may be more now, but I don't know that there's really a lot for regular everyday use. One thing that would be really cool is like encoding videos, if you're editing videos and then encoding them. This is not what I was looking for. Nest. This sounds really cool though. This sounds like you can just run this inside of any Fedora, operating system these days and get that to do that. This is not what I was looking for. How did I model the brain? Model. Been laughing at me the whole time. It hit me a while ago. I thought, why do I call that model? I don't know. It's what it looked like to me. So that is not what I was looking for. Whatever page, possible that I got these mixed up. No, it doesn't look like it. This is an older page about DNF automatic. I think because it's see, it says different number on it. See, there's 3.02. Okay, I was afraid I wasn't on the desktop all of a sudden. 3.0, 4. So anyway, that is not wherever that is. I'm just going through all my folders because now I don't remember. But I know it's from Fedora, part of Fedora stuff. Planet Fedora is their magazine, I think. That's not it either. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, now I can't even remember what it was called. I thought it was called Modal, but Modal is actually model. It says model the brain, the Nest simulator on Fedora. Now I remember reading about Nest, the newest coolest thing, you know. Oh, Nest simulator on Fedora. So this is. Anyway, that sounds really cool. That's obviously how come I saved it and I never did get back to it, but. I would want it for something like that to run. There's a couple of different things they call them, but yeah, I've already went past all the words and I don't know what they're called. I forgot. Cluster or parallel computing or clusters. I would want something real practical, like, you know, encoding video files, like a whole bunch of video files or something faster, you know. But the one I remember always sticks in my mind, I guess, because I had a catchy name, Pelican Cluster. I believe that was the one. I have several of them on CDs here that I was able to get up and running and get like 2 or 3. I think I got 3 machines on my cluster, you know, and then I was like, okay, now what do I do? You know, I think there was one little program you could run that came with it, and it wasn't anything that was any use to me, though. And, you know, it was pretty hard to, like, you could do it. It told you how to do it, set up. I forget what you could do. You could actually alter programs to get them to work with it, but that was pretty hard. Sounded pretty hard to me. But checking my sound. My laptop went to sleep, and I thought, okay, am I even still streaming? Doggone it. Well, there is a new way of holding applications in Fedora to the version you want, and it looked real simple, but it's not that. Don't know what I did. You know, I might have saved modularity. I did. Close, but no cigar. Fedora modularity. Let's see if I click on it, it'll go to the page. Yeah, there's the Fedora modularity, multiple packaging Fedora. Now, where is it? Fedora Linux project, Fedora modularity. Okay, that's where I had it. Okay, now. These are examples. These are not just the only ones that it'll work with, but you want to keep, you know, like some things you want updated, some things you want to keep at that version because, and they mention this because it's pretty common, I think, like Node.js and, well, this is kernels they're talking about there, but it's common with like dynamic websites and stuff. Project tracker. Trying to find the spot where it tells you how to do it. It's a whole thing there. Oh, maybe I need to go to documentation. Yep. That's still in just the Fedora Linux project. I guess I should open up. I'm just going to open all this up. Fedora modularity. Anyway, you can go faster or slower, you know, with your updates and stuff. This is definitely sounds really good. Somewhere I saw the instructions on how to do it. That page that I had there. I'm gonna bookmark all these. Select all tabs. You have to do that now. I'm going to grab about that every time I do it, I guess. And there's the page. Where's the page that I wanted on? The one that was... that's the one with all the documentation, issues. What I realized is maybe I could understand how to, it just said not available when I typed in my, but I was typing it, I was copying and pasting in my whole, you know, OBS Studio 2.21.1.1 so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And just said not available. Well, I don't know. Where's that page at? Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and leave it there and then open that up again. Locks versions of apps. Okay. How come it's not looking like it did last time? Oh, here we go. There it is. I just wasn't going down. DNF module list. Let's see. Okay. I don't really want. Now. I don't think we're going to have any modules. We'll see. I would probably, yeah, I could just go clear. I was going to say, what do I do about my plugin I set up? Well, I could go clear that. Working. I think I already did this, but. While it's working there, and go back down, let's see. It shows the list of module streams available for you, and then install a default stream. Oh, okay. Install DWM. Installs a default stream of DWM, a tiling window manager. Each Fedora release can have a different default. Well, that's what I thought. Well, I don't want this new tiling window manager. I just want. This is examples, okay, installs a default stream, right, okay. Install a specific stream, Node.js, okay. Install specific use case, sudo DNF install MongoDB client. Now, MongoDB is a dynamic website. Okay, so So I tried to change it to OBS Studio, 21 dot so and so dot so and so, and then I was gonna try to figure out the rest of how to tell it to keep only that version, because if I understood it when I read all this, that's one of the cool things you can do with it. Nothing to show. Okay, so and that's when I ended up. Let's see. I think I just did OBS and then maybe you have to do that. There we go. Okay, so now see we've got OBS Studio x86-64. And then there's the version 22. Okay, so and these are in RPM Fusion, so they may not be available. Period for this though. 21.1.1. Okay. Oh, i686. Yeah, I don't want i686. Okay, so now I'm starting to kind of get where I was messing things up trying to do this. Sudo DNF install. Yeah, this is not going to be there. I see this now. Fault stream. Specific stream. Try this. Anyway, I'm going to try it anyway. I already did this, I'm pretty sure. Exactly this. I was trying to glean from what I saw there. Make sure I just got a space in there. Yeah, I'm sure it'll say not available. No such module. Okay, so yeah, and I don't think there's going to be, because that's from RPM Fusion. It's not in the Fedora repo, regular repos. And now I could just install that DWM. I've seen that DWM before. I just don't know what in the world I would do with it and if it would cause me some sort of problem. I'm not sure. Let's do this. See what happens, what's available under DWM. DWM x86-64, so that's all it would install. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to find out more about all this before I go and try doing it. That's not going to do what I need to do, so I need to stay on the path that I was on and learn how to do. This is really cool though, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with something out of RPM Fusion. Now that I look at it a little again. But I read about this a while back, and I thought, boy, I need to get back and learn about that. And so then I did try to quickly use it, and ran in. Now I understand why it wouldn't work. I don't think I want to save that. That's just going to confuse me, I think. So I won't save that work. So. I'm just going to leave my auto updates turned off. Now my schedule is still on, like I said before, but it won't do anything as long as auto updates are turned off. The only schedule I have is the auto updates set up on this system. So, what I would need to do is figure out I think that's it. Well, that's one of them. I just need to, maybe if I read this real close, and I'm, like I said, I don't know why. I'm still going because I don't like to give up once I'm in the middle of something, but my brain just doesn't like to give up whenever I feel like I'm close. But my logical side that's barely working right now tells me you got everything to where you're okay. Leave it alone before you break something really bad. So I'm going to listen to that. I need to, maybe I'll read that page tomorrow whenever I can think a little better. And about to die for a break now anyway right now. Yeah, that explains it. Maybe I think maybe the words are a little different than that other page, and maybe I'll understand it better. But if I can get, I'm pretty sure I can get that exclude thing to work. You know, I think I can. I think I can. So then I can turn I can always just update, you know, manually. I can go into I'd have to go into the Dragora and select everything but OBS and run the updates, you know, and then and leave the automatic updates turned off. And I just have to do that every few days. I can do that until, if I have to, until OBS gets fixed. But yeah, but I think I can get that exclusion thing working. Hopefully, we'll see. I definitely don't want to mess up OBS. I'm so glad I didn't just wing it, you know, and I finally remembered what to do to check. Such a simple thing. Just list your updates, but don't run them. Excuse me. It's like I swallowed a cough pill. It felt like I had dust in my throat, but I don't know why I would just then. But anyway, I know it's not dust. It's strange. I can feel it now. So, yeah, I completely forgot what I was saying, but maybe I can fix it tomorrow. But yeah, I can do manual updates through the GUI. Although I tried running the GUI some updates in my Fedora 29 server inmate desktop the other day, or a week or so ago, and the GUI crashed, but the updates did at least finish. But the GUI crashed. Of course, that is Fedora 29, and it's probably some bug in there, you know. I haven't used the manual. I think when I first got Fedora 28, I did use the GUI updater, I think, a couple of times before I got auto updates working. But anyway, I really just thought it would be a matter of kind of checking through things, turning the auto updates back on, and I'd be done with this, you know. But no such luck. Okay. Just trying to think where I am with this. Okay, yeah. So I'm back where I started. I turned off auto updates. I didn't edit anything in the plugin. I can't even think of the name of it now. The plugin that's supposed to let you freeze updates. But OBS should be everything should be fine. But I don't want to continue to not install the updates. Yeah, I saw kernel updates. So I always like to get kernel updates. Usually means some security updates too. So I always like to get those. And it could fix my problem. The problem with OBS, you know, for instance. I think it's in OBS, but it could be that a kernel update would fix it too. So You just don't ever know unless you're a programmer and and really and things like kernel updates. You're not going to know unless you're involved with that. A programmer and you're involved with that, or you follow it somehow. I mean, you can always go read they post what they're doing on like in not newsletters, but email. I can't think of the right word. They call it something to do with email, but email, not chains, not email chain letters, no. But anyway, they post them online. And of course, bug reports. If you follow all that stuff, you could find out. But anyway, so I'm going to go and another valiant effort that didn't really. All I did was learn a few things. It's always a learning experience, and every day is a learning experience for me now because I forget half of what I learned, so I may relearn things over and over and over. Sometimes if I do things often enough, it stays with me still these days, but it's got to be at least a few times a week. All right, well, I'm going to go. Bye-bye.